Hey everybody, what's up? This is Devin, LaVore, and
LaVore
coming at you. And we hope you guys are encouraged today. And to add to that encouragement, we just want to share with you like some really, really cool stuff that the Lord's been doing. That's just, you'll hear in a second. So, starting with the prophetic numbers, the last 5 days in a row, we've gotten 1111 every day.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not a number for us.
Mm-hmm.
When we see it, it's like this Halley's Comet moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're just like, whoa, we got an 1111, because other people get it all the time, and we're just like, well, we never get that number, man. We feel a little left out. You know what I mean? But then we would get it a couple times throughout our little... When did the numbers really start for us? The end of September, right?
Yeah.
So that's really how... We're still pretty green and new at this, you know? Mm-hmm. And our method of doing the numbers is probably different than other people's, but it's like... I tend to find that the numbers mean the same thing for each person. Or I don't know. There's a commonality. But for the last 5 days... I mean, today is still, ripe. And we can see an 1111, but for the last 5 days in a row, we have seen an 1111 every day. Yeah. And we've been getting the 59s again, like the 59 going to the next hour. Yeah. And why is that significant? Why? Because we feel like we're in a position of like crossing over or transitioning. And I know we've had a lot of those, Yeah. But I really feel like we're in the midst of the third one. Yeah. Yes, everything's happening in the spirit, but everything happens in the spirit first anyway. Mm-hmm. And I really feel that we are getting ready to see the manifestation of things, because that's the last story. That's the final chapter. And let me detour, because you know how I love the rabbit trail. Anyway, I was praying to the Lord. I was like, I was somewhere else. And I was like, Lord, we birthed something, the baby, and we did all those videos about birthing, and it was just like, why haven't we received like our promised land or anything like that? Why is that? And I felt like the Lord took me back to that, and he was like, do you remember what was going on there? And I was like, yeah. And I knew right away, I knew exactly what he was saying. And I was like, oh. And it was like Jesus was in labor. Mm-hmm. Jesus was having giving birth to something spiritually, and in our prayers and everything that we were partnering with him with, it was helping him deliver whatever it is he was trying to deliver, right? And I just felt like the Lord said, that is with me. It's mine. It's like, it's something I've delivered. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh man, you're right. That it makes sense. So many of the things that we go through prophetically is like it's like being in the midst of a war, or being in the midst of a fight, or being in the midst of a crazy, concert or something really crazy. You just don't see what's going on until you get some distance, and you watch the tape again or something like that, and you go, oh, okay, now I get it. That's what was going on. Hindsight is 20/20. And then I was like, okay, so that's why we haven't seen anything yet. And then the Lord also reminded me of something me and you talked about this morning, about like, I felt like the Lord said, remember, like, the thing that you're looking for, that you've been looking for throughout every breakthrough and hoping to see that thing, and it's not the thing, and then you get disappointed because it's not the thing you're looking for. He's like, that's the last thing to happen. Yeah. The absolute last thing to happen. So when it doesn't happen, you think, oh man, more waiting. And it's like, yeah, there is more waiting. There is more, there is more a birthing to happen and all that. But as long as you stick with me and listen to me, you're already in the place that you need to be. And there is no destination. I've known the Lord for 23 years. I'm in my 24th year now. I completed 23 years, whatever. God's like, at that moment that you became born again, you arrived. Mm-hmm. You made your destination. From this point on, it's all just journey. Yeah. Now you have stories and, books and things like that that you're living out and all that, and you have these destination points and these end chapter moments like this. But God's like, it's all journey. Yeah. All of it. And he was saying that thing that you're looking for, that prize, it happens at the very end. Yeah. And what has the Lord been saying?
We're at the end.
We're in the end. last chapter. And that's why a lot of this stuff means something. The 11:11s, 5 days in a row, like, dang.
And we actually got a scripture to go with the 11s, which is John 11:11.
Oh, go ahead.
And it basically says, this is the Amplified Version.
She's going to speak.
He said these things and then added, "Our friend Lazarus is at rest and sleeping, but I am going there that I may awake him out of his sleep." And for us, the 11s have always talked about like the resurrection, like God bringing life. And so it's like this constant reminder that Jesus is like, hey, I am coming to wake you up, to resurrect this life. Because right now it's looking pretty dead. But it's like, I'm coming to breathe life into it and to call you out. Because that's really what he did with Lazarus. He called him out of the tomb. And so it's just kind of, that's one of the scriptures that we've gotten
during these times of transition.
Where we're seeing a lot of the 11s. Yeah.
And it's like in the 59s, it's like it's a sign of God saying, "Hey, we're crossing over to a new hour, a new thing that I'm doing within the great big new thing I'm doing." Yeah. It's like trimesters in a pregnancy. It's like there's 3 trimesters. You know, there's 3 stories: the heart story, the spirit story, and then the physical manifestation story. And I believe we are on the threshold of the physical manifestation story. And then last night, because we did the video yesterday, it was a quick video. This one won't be. It was a quick video that talked about how we were seeing the 12s and the 47s, and how God was in just complete. He was saying that he is in complete divine kingly control over our lives, and to not worry and not be afraid. And that the 47s again represented that we're at the end of a test. We're at a perfect end to a test. And I'm like, well, we've had that 2 times before. Oh, this is the 3rd time. Okay, yes. So we were getting excited, right? And then, oh man, then I kind of freaked out a little bit, didn't I?
Yeah.
I freaked out a little bit because I had 2 videos. I got on my videos, and I had 2 videos staring right at me, just like any other number I see that I get excited about. Saw 2 videos that were 666. And I was like, where's a rock so I can go and hide under it? I was like, the Lord is saying that we are deceived. That's what he's confirming it with 2 666s. And I was like, wait, babe, wait.
Always going to the negative, right? That's the human nature.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, we are so in trouble. No. But a little. That is really what I thought there for a second. But I was just like, no. I was like, babe, what did we get before? And then so we researched the 666s.
Yeah.
Right? And it was amazing just seeing the parallel. What was it, October 15th?
October 15th, because we keep a journal of
all this stuff, man.
As much as possible.
We are nerds at this spiritual walk with God and getting prophetic words. Because we want to know the truth, you know?
I just went back through the journal and I was like, okay, where did we get... Because we've only gotten the 666s only really just time and
just that one other
time. And so I could go back, and it was on October 15th that we got those, and we were talking about just intimacy with God, and it ended up being that was the day that
the manifestation of the intimacy with God, and I was like, wow. And it's like God was like, 6 is not a bad number. They're all my numbers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And but it was on that day that, really that night, that God came in and healed Devin from the anger.
The last piece of the peace.
Yeah. This issue that he had been dealing with from a wound. And
a church wound from like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 7 years ago. Maybe.
And so it was just like, whoa, that was a very significant day for us. And so here it is again, we're seeing all of these numbers.
And very significant numbers. And it was just like, wow, we don't see these kinds of numbers. And it was like every other number was just kind of pushed aside.
Yeah.
It was like, you need to see this because I'm trying to say something to you.
Yeah. And then we actually had also written down that night that we had gotten 1047 after all of the healing took place. And it was just like, for us at that moment, it was this confirmation, like, this has been completed. Like, I am saying that this issue is no longer going to be an issue. You really have the peace. Like, I have done this work, and it's been so true.
Yeah.
And so it was like, whoa, hey, we've gotten tons of 47s today. And then we had the 666 numbers, and here was this.
Saw it 3 times.
Yeah.
I saw it 3 times within like a couple hours.
Yeah, which was pretty much what happened on October 15th for us. And so it was like, whoa, like God is kind of speaking again to just this, like that there will be like a healing.
Mm-hmm. Because each time, let me get into this one, right? Because after we saw the 666s, there was a healing, right?
Yeah.
And then on the 21st, now listen to me. I have seen a grouping of 5 numbers only once, and it was 4s. I saw 5 4s. I put it on my Facebook and everything. I was like, wow, this is a whole nother level. This is like, I've never seen this. And 4 has been like that's been our team captain number this entire time. Mm-hmm. It has dominated every time. Like, it's like this, and the funny thing is, it's the thing that we don't have revelation on. We can get revelation on all the numbers, even the really oddball stuff. We can find it out, but for whatever reason, the 4s are hidden.
Yeah, and we have gotten, like, we've learned about what does the 4s mean and all of these things. And at different times, we felt like, ooh, we've gotten some revelation.
But it's more of like a maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there's not been this definitive, this is what the 4s are meaning for us.
There's not like this settled thing in our spirit, which is actually good because it can be frustrating. It's like, oh, what does that mean? But it's really like God, when He saves a revelation and keeps it from you, that means whenever it does get revealed at a later point, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I got 5 4s on that one particular
October 21st.
On October 21st, and it was the next day that I went and I got Maleficent for my daughter, and the Lord did that whole angel wing thing.
Yeah.
That day. I mean, that was an intense day.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a sudden thing. Now, so there you go. You have...
And also, the 21st itself of October was a very significant day because that was...
Yeah.
There was a major shift in the spirit on that day.
Major.
And it was like, there was this very sense of, hey, things are moving from Psalm 20 to a Psalm 21 season. Mm-hmm. And so it was a very significant day.
It was. And it was the first day of the 8th month, the Hebrew 8th month. Mm-hmm. And there was so much stuff going on that day.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome, right? And so last night when we got the 1047, I was like, whoa, we got this 1047. That was just awesome. It was like, it's like the last number is 1047.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's, you know what I mean? We're like, this is, God, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And we got 2 1047s that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so awesome. And so I'm sitting there, she's gone to bed and all that, and I'm still awake. So it's like, it might be past midnight, but we're not counting that as the next day.
Yeah.
We don't count it the next day until we wake up the next morning.
Yeah.
So if there's numbers that I get after midnight, we still count them as that day, right? So the last number I got was this number right here. Yeah, take a good look at that. I was like, I'm sitting there watching this show and I'm like freaking out because I was like, did I just see what I just saw? Like, seriously? And I was like, and so I rewound it and I was like, yeah, I did. And it was a countdown number and it only showed it 3 numbers. It was 45, 44, 43. And I was like, whoa. So I paused it. I took a picture. I was like, Michelle is not going to believe this. literally this 4444 was the last number of the night. And I was like, wow. So I went back, did some research through our journal, see like when did we get that? And found out what happened and all that. It was like, well, the next day, that was the angel wing anointing day and all. That was a crazy day. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And so I got on Lorelei Cooley's website, and hers says when she's talking about quadruple digits, when you see those, she says to see various sets of quadruple numbers is very significant and has great meaning. It is connected to destiny. Bookmark that word. Destiny and a perfect work that is being done that is aligned with the timing of the Lord. Oh my gosh. Seeing quintuplet numbers has great importance as it is a rare instance to see. And I've seen it twice. Now, what have I seen twice? The exact same numbers.
Yeah.
Fours. That's the only time I've ever seen that before. Was the I was like to see, because the first time I saw it was on a YouTube video. I was like 44,444 views. Are you serious? Like that never happens.
Yeah.
I mean not that I've ever seen, you know. I mean, there was that one day though that I did see 111,111 views. Yeah. And I was like, wow, I about fell on the floor from that one. And so it was like, wow, like there is something very significant happening.
Yeah.
You know, super significant happening. And I felt like things were lining up. That's when I prayed, I was like, Lord, come on, give me something on that.
Yeah.
And I just felt like the Lord was like perfectly lining up.
Yeah.
Things are perfectly lined up, which kind of went to, it touched on a word that he gave you about everything's good, everything's ready. I'm ready to start cooking.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ready to start doing this, like the thing that you hope for. It's like when he gave me the word victory, he was like, I'm here to give you the victory that you hope for, the thing that you've been waiting for, the thing that you've been looking for, right? And then Shelly L came out with her video. And I tell you what, that was like the gavel slamming on I mean, so much of what she said. You have to watch the video. You know, I'm going to link it below and all that. But I seriously, like almost every sentence of that video, I was just like, oh my gosh, there were so many trigger words. Yeah. So many trigger words that were like, yeah, you're in the end. Even her reaction to it and her process was like, wow, yeah, this is so crazy, right?
Yes, it was really good.
It was really awesome. She was talking, and she was referencing a Jolyn Whitaker video. So the Jolyn Whitaker video and how how Shelly L was processing that video, but then the things that she said in addition to what it was just amazing. And just a couple, I just want to throw out a couple of the words. Is that okay? Destiny, that was a huge one because it reminded me of the 5 4s that I saw last night and how the Lord was like, it's lining up for like a destiny, you know. And it let it be done according to your faith. That's what the Lord told Shelly L. It's like, be it done unto you according to your faith, or something like that.
It was verse 9:29.
Yes, Matthew 9:29. Yeah. And the Lord told me that. I've had like 2 very significant encounters with the Lord in my kid's bedroom. And coming out of one of them, you know, I was praying so hard for just that end thing that we want. You know, and the Lord, I'm coming out of that time, and the Lord was like, you know, let it be done unto you according to your faith. And I felt like the Lord was like saying yes and amen to everything I was praying. And it was intense prayers too. Yeah. They were just awesome. And also she said touch, like the Lord's going to touch your life. And he's been speaking that to us a lot lately. Yeah. Right? And it coincides with
a lot of visions that we've had about God reaching out and touching. And that it's the touch of God that will send us into really the destiny that he has for us.
Exactly. And like that great big hand that was coming toward my face, and there was just so much there, and it was like so many. And she said, "You're gonna move, travel, and shoot so far." And I was like, "What? Did she really just say that? Move, travel, shoot?" I was like, and the fact that she said shoot, and it reminded me again of that vision of us in the desert, and we're running. There's a bunch of us, and we're running around Jesus because our lives are revolved around Jesus, and he just reaches out and touches us, and just it launches us. Way, way out there, way far.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, this is amazing. She talked about a demonstration of God's love.
Yeah.
Which we
got. Maybe like
you got that.
Couple. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
About how like God was really talking about love, and that he demonstrates his love. Mm-hmm. That love is like demonstration and love go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. You can't really have one without the other. I love you. Yeah.
Just know it in your heart.
Yeah.
No,
there's always a demonstration. That's why, even in, relationships, it's always like, how do you demonstrate to someone that you love them? You can be spending time with them. You can give them gifts. There's just so many things.
But either way, you're going to demonstrate.
Yeah, you're going to show it.
And that answered a question for you, because you were like, well, this is just going to be some spiritual love.
Yeah.
Meaning it's all spiritual, and you never actually get to feel anything tangible in your hands, or it's just all, there's a spiritual birthing. Yeah. God was like, no, it's a demonstration, right? I demonstrate. And the reap what you have sown, she said something about reap what you have sown. And just the other night, the Lord was telling me, like, you guys have sown a ton of prayer. You sow generously, you're going to reap generously. Yeah. That's a whole nother video, honestly, right there. And he turned it. She said that. And there was just so many. I'm telling you, it was like a trigger word explosion. It was a trigger word bonanza, that video. So I would highly, highly suggest you go watch it, because it was just super encouraging. And it just like any prophetic word or any kind of prophetic thing from God, it only added to what God was already doing and saying in our lives. Yeah. Because I was talking to Michelle earlier about, like, I'm looking at our journey in hindsight, and I'm going, I understand why we were disappointed so much. Because God was like, I'm showing you the end at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And every time there was breakthrough, destiny, manifestation, you will no delay, no longer, no more delay, and it's getting ready to break through, and in the next 7 days, and all those things. Every time we heard something like that, and we heard it a lot, we were always thinking about the end. Yeah. We were thinking about that prize at the end. And then it didn't happen, and we were just like, man, this is devastating, right? And it was hurting, but we would still get back up and keep going, and God would keep speaking and keep sharing stuff with us. And I felt like the Lord was like, it's the last thing to happen, and I put it at the end on purpose. I'm showing you the end on purpose, because I'm trying to make it worth the journey that you're going to have to go through to get there. But it's like when you watch Biggest Loser, they put that $250,000 at the end, because you know that you're going to have to go through a fat camp, and it's going to be bad. It's going to be intense. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to quit several times. And it's that whole same thing that God did. I'm putting this at the end so that you'll go through all the heart-rending and the healing and the, all of that you're going to have to go through. So it's like, for me, when I start hearing these things that God is saying, and seeing the numbers, and seeing the 47s, seeing the quintuple fours, again, God's saying there's getting ready to be something that happened. And each one of those other times that something like that happened, there was a healing. Mm-hmm. Okay? And the Lord told me a long time ago, there will be healing in the revealing. Yeah. When he reveals the end of what he's going to do, your heart will be completely and totally healed. Now, it's been getting healed in parts throughout this journey, but there is still a fullness of healing that has to take place. And God, we have completely jumped. We have jumped literally without a parachute, because of your word. We have taken your word as our safety, your word as our parachute. Your word it is our life. We will splat, or we will soar, or whatever it is you have, but we're afraid we're going to splat. That's the fear, right? Mm-hmm. The fear is we're going to go kasplat. Old Batman said kasplat. Anyway, but it's like, that's the fear, and it's just like we're still plummeting and plummeting and plummeting, and we're like, we're here, Lord. We're going to praise you. We're going to thank you. We're going to bless you. We're going to, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we've just grown more and more in that. And it's like, I think I just have to put all the evidence together and say, God is getting ready to do, he's getting ready to finish story number 3. He's getting ready to finish the manifestation story, because there is a last healing that has to happen when he reveals what he's going to do. Because on all the other 2 stories, the transition ended. I'm just getting blown away, like right now, even as I'm saying this, because it's like that was really the transition point. Mm-hmm. There was a healing, and then because God revealed something, and in the revealing there was a healing.
Yeah.
And there was a healing of the heart. There was a restoration of things that were taken from me from birth.
Yeah.
And it's like, now what? Doesn't matter. I don't even care. But again, I'm looking for that end thing. But I think I'm also, evidence says I'm right to now expect that end thing. Yeah. Especially because the Lord's been telling us to do that. Expect victory, and he's been bringing about all these other things to remind us. Nothing new per se. It's all been like, it's almost like this last chapter is like a reminder chapter. Mm-hmm. We have been in a reminder season, because it's like, this is what I'm getting ready to do.
Yeah.
And honestly, excitement for me can be a source of deception or big disappointment or something like that. Or at least I think it is. I perceive it to be that. And so, honestly, I listened to Shelly L's video 3 times. I listened to it last night and I about freaked out. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I was like, no, I'm going to listen to it with Michelle, because I am too hyped up about what God is doing, about what God is speaking to me right now. And then I listened to it with you, and I'm like, same kind of freak out. And I was like, all right, I'm going to listen to it again, and I'm going to bullet point all the things that I feel like God's saying. There was too much to bullet point. Yeah. I'd be redoing the entire video. And so I was just like, I listened to that video 3 times. God had plenty of opportunity to say, Devin, he didn't. Mm-hmm. He didn't. And I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. Once again, Michelle is a prop in my video. You're an extra.
I am.
You're an extra in this video. So I'm just saying, like, man, God is up to something, right? Yeah. He is up to something. She's tired though. She had a hard night. But you're here. See, this is how you soldier on. This is how you cowgirl up. Okay? And so, because I was like, babe, we don't have to do a video. She's like, no, we're going to do a video. I was like, all right now. Come on, Cletus. Anyway, so we hope you guys are encouraged by that. Yeah. Maybe we'll get a little humor in there. But man, I tell you what, we are excited, and we are looking forward to the end of whatever God's going to do, And I tell you what, I'm looking for something to happen today, tomorrow, in the next, this week or something like that, because it was like, because those 2 different healings were only 6 days apart. There was the 15th, and then there was the 21st, so it's like...
Well, 22nd.
Or the 22nd,
it was like one Sunday, the very next Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm just excited, We're gonna keep producing videos. We're gonna keep sharing what God puts on our heart. And man, this is like super exciting. I was telling Michelle today, I was like, stars are normal. Like when we see numbers 22, 33, 44, something like that, or that's normal, right? Yeah. It's like, but like last night we received a meteor shower of significant numbers. Yeah. A meteor shower of significant numbers. That's not normal. Followed by a comet. Yeah. Because that quintuple 4s, that was like, I was like, wow, it's almost like that's a great sign. Yeah. Like the Revelation 12 sign, it's the only place it's called a great sign was seen in heaven. Like seriously, man, last night was like a great sign moment. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, wow, I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but I tell you what, God does not speak wasted words. Yeah. It's just like if he's speaking what you might call a simple message from God, it comes in that way, or whatever. But man, last night was like epic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, epic. Anyway, so maybe we're getting ready to see some epic, because I have it written on our board, because that's a word that the Lord told me. He's like, it's going to be epic. like grand finale fireworks, explosion, amazing. You're going to be in awe, you know? So I'm super excited, and so I hope you guys are, I hope it ministers to you guys. For those of you who feel like you're in that place too, you'll know, because this will just resonate, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what the Lord's been sharing with me. And so, yeah.
Until next time.
Yes.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye. Come on, guys. Give her some thumbs up for making the video, because she was tired. But she's like, no, I got some stuff I want to say, and I just want to take my position and do my thing. You know, I don't want to bail out. So, high five. You're awesome. And so are you. Just not as awesome as her. Bye.
Bye.